Okay. Hi everyone. First, I want to thank everyone for coming today. I know you're taking time out of your own day, so we really appreciate everyone coming. First, I'm just going to kind of explain what a focus group is. It's a group of people. We're going to ask you guys an open discussion about a bunch of questions, and we're just going to have a honest discussion. This all stays here. It's not going anywhere. We're going to use it for our personal data, and then that's about it. All right. So, how are you guys?
Good.
Cool. Did you guys do anything this weekend? Do you guys have any plans for this weekend or anything?
Probably chill because I'm not very mobile.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Anybody else?
Studying.
Yeah. Midterms coming up. Yeah. A lot of midterms. So did you guys do anything last weekend at all? I mean, our last like free weekend. How about, do you guys have spring break plans?
Yes, I'm going to Florida.
Nice.
Lucky.
Nice. Are you flying, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Anybody else doing anything for spring break?
Just driving around the country.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Well, not really, just to 2 states, but
Where are you going?
maybe Kentucky, Indiana, and then Ohio.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Are you going with a bunch of people?
Just my friend. She's gonna drive, and then I'll sit in.
Only 2 people?
Well, we're gonna go see people.
Okay, that makes sense. So how long are you in the car?
I have no idea. We didn't really plan it yet.
Okay. So what do you typically do in the car?
I play the music. She
Okay.
drives.
Okay, so you have a designated driver, and then, so I'm assuming you aux?
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of like streaming service do you use for that?
Apple Music.
Ah, okay, nice. Have you always had Apple Music?
Yeah.
How about you guys? Do you guys have
Yeah, I'm Apple Music.
Apple?
Use Apple Music.
Okay, Apple.
For me, I actually am not subscribed to any music platform.
Wow.
How do you listen to it?
Yeah.
How do you, so,
Yeah, I don't really like,
do you listen to music?
I do, but not like when I walk around campus or anything like
Okay.
that. Like, if I'm feeling it, I'll search up a song I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
so not a huge music person, I guess.
I guess not.
How about in the car? Do you listen to music in the car?
I do.
How, do you do radio? Do you do YouTube, I think you said?
I do radio. If I'm with my friends, then we use their phones
Okay.
for their playlists.
All right, how many of you guys are the designated music person in your friend group? I know you said you are. You are not.
Goes back and
Depends
forth.
on the day?
Yeah.
I have
Okay,
very inconsistent playlists, so
Me too.
people.
okay, a little
Just
niche,
whatever song.
like for some
Yeah.
people, okay. So, for the people that listen to, so when you guys listen to music with your friend groups and stuff, do you guys have the same streaming services? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, and a lot of my friends we use Spotify, so we do the party thing.
Okay, you do the party session? Yeah, so that I know is on Spotify. So that's really nice. Do you use that often? Like how often do you get with your friends and use that?
It's really more like my high school friends, so I don't see them as often.
Oh,
but
okay.
Each time we have it, we usually do it.
Nice. Gotcha. So, whoa. Okay.
Snag.
So when did you guys like discover music? When did you guys like really start listening to music? How did you start listening to music?
Hannah Montana.
Okay. Disney Channel, it starts with all of us.
us.
Okay. How about other people?
My dad likes Smash Mouth.
Okay. So parents.
Yeah, like one of those books with like all the CDs in it.
Okay.
One of those things.
Nice. How about you guys?
Honestly, for me, my mom gave me an iPod Nano when I was like 10, and that has honestly been about my music taste ever since.
Okay, so you kind of started with Apple products then.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd
How
say
about
the
you guys?
same. I mean, I feel like parents are definitely influential when it comes to developing musical tastes, especially at like a young age.
Okay.
But I'd say the same, like for the iPod Nano type of thing.
Okay. So another Apple person.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I used to get those like Apple like iTunes gift cards.
Yeah.
And like buy
Okay.
like dollar song.
That was,
Nice.
Yeah,
was
remember
prime
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys also do iTunes? You're shaking your head. You never did iTunes?
I
Not
did.
really, no.
Okay. And you're a Spotify person, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day when you can get a gift card and give it to somebody, right next to the Outback Steakhouse coupons or gift cards.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's for the people that did do iTunes, which I think is the majority of people, did you ever do iTunes? Because you said you're not a huge music person.
I did, yeah, growing
Okay.
up when it was like you had to buy like $1.29 a
Mhm.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, interesting. So, I think half of you are Apple Music people and you guys all did iTunes. Did you guys just go straight to iTunes or Apple Music? Did you go straight to Apple Music from iTunes? Is that what you guys did?
Yeah.
Or,
Pretty much. I mean, Apple, it's the company itself kind of just like transitioned over to Apple Music. So
okay.
it's like-
And-
it was kind of forced on us, honestly. Like,
Yeah, so you just kept with the Apple Music. You guys never made the switch to Spotify.
Well, I have Spotify. like,
Okay, so you have
downloaded.
both?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I really only use Spotify if I'm like looking for a specific playlist. Like Apple
Okay.
Music doesn't do that great of job of like coming up with like different playlists, like if you're sad or if you're
Okay, so it doesn't have like the
beach
content that a
or
lot of
something.
Spotify has?
Yeah, like it's easy to search like a playlist up like specifically and like so many different options
Okay,
come up like
yeah,
very quickly and like reachable, I guess.
Sure.
It's just like right in your face.
would you guys agree with content for our Apple Music people? Do you guys struggle with finding content on Apple Music, or are you guys fine?
No, it's so easy.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to search on
Okay,
Apple Music too. I just think Spotify has better ones, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I kind of use a little bit of both. I just mainly use Spotify because I've had it longer. 'Cause
okay, so
whenever-
you have both.
Yeah, I just don't use it as often because, I mean, I don't pay for the subscription, but I have it, but I don't really use it because Spotify I've had for a longer time,
Okay,
and so I have a lot more of my music already saved in there.
okay,
And as she was saying, when it comes to like the playlists, like I can access other people who have made playlists already, who may have like similar interests as me, and so having that all made by like maybe like someone else is also a way to like share.
okay,
And at the same time, I know on Spotify they have like the activity people who
Yeah,
are also listening
so,
to music.
yeah, you can see what people are listening to.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Okay, nice. So when did you guys start sharing music with friends or doing these like party sessions and that kind of thing? When did that start for you guys?
Huh?
Say
Yeah,
High school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
once I knew like what my music taste was.
Okay, which takes a while. That was probably in high school then? Okay. You said you do the party sessions with your high school friends. So when you do, and everyone in your group had Spotify in high school?
I would say majority of us. I mean, the ones who. Actually, yeah, I think all of us had Spotify at that time because we just played Spotify in class.
Okay, do you guys think today, like how many of your friends have Apple Music compared to Spotify? Do you think there's a big difference there? Or do you think it's pretty split?
I think they're definitely the main sources. A lot of my friends, I would say Spotify.
Okay, so, but you're an Apple Music person?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel being the only Apple Music person then?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I've switched to Spotify, but like all my playlists are on Apple Music, so like I don't feel like transferring all that.
Okay, so you like to stick with the Apple Music just because it is easier, I guess?
Yeah, I just have all my music.
Okay,
on
so if it was easier, do you think you would switch? Or do you think you would
Possibly.
stay?
I feel like I'd switch if they like if you were able to download your playlist on Spotify. They have
Okay.
better features.
Okay, so you are an Apple Music person that seems to like Spotify better.
Yeah,
Okay, but you're just sticking with Apple because
that's what I have.
that's what you know. Okay, how about other people? You're a YouTuber or a non-music person. So how do you feel when you're like with your friends and stuff listening to music? How do you feel?
Oh, I feel totally fine because
Okay.
we're all listening to different songs that I know. And it's a way for me to also get introduced to new music too, because I get to listen to their playlists.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. So, do you guys, when you're in a group, I know a lot of you said, except for you, I think, said you're pretty much not the main like music person, the person playing the music. So if that's the case, do you guys prefer to be the person not playing the music or the person who is playing the music?
Probably
I guess
is.
Is?
For sure.
is.
Yeah.
You don't want
Playing
to?
music.
Okay, and why is that?
Lack of confidence in my taste.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because usually I start off like really good in the first half, and then next thing you know, some weird shit would play, and then it would just, you're like, all right, get this man off the aux now, and then
Okay.
somebody else would get on it.
So you get bullied off of it.
'Cause-
Pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after like, maybe a couple questionable songs for like, what is like, dude, what is this? Come on. There's
Okay,
gotta be
so
something better.
so it sounds like there's I think you just said a lot of pressure with being the person that plays the music.
Like, think of it this way, it's like you're going from playing like Lil Uzi, like
Mhm.
Future, Travis Scott, and the next thing you know, Willie Nelson comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what it's like.
Okay. Yeah, and so you don't, there's a lot of responsibility, it sounds like, when you are the person playing the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's just like whoever's car we're in, that's who's gonna play music. I guess just
Okay, so
out of respect thing, I
okay,
guess. But like
interesting.
with my friends, I mean, a lot of the times like they'll give me their phone and just be like, just play whatever you want. Like they end up getting sick of playing music or having to like look at their phone and pick out music, so they just usually end up giving it to me if I'm passenger and just being like, play music. Cause I mean we have like pretty much the same music taste.
Okay. Differences.
There are differences, but like majority of the time like we all like what each other plays.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of times when we're in groups then, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like one person is typically playing the music then. Except for your friends, I guess, in high school who did the Spotify sessions. Okay, interesting. And then of those people playing the music, do you think they tend to do more Spotify or tend to do more Apple Music?
Good question. Probably Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify people have egos.
Okay,
That's true.
expand on that. What kind of ego
The
does
people who have ego is SoundCloud.
Because you're
Mm-hmm.
that's a completely different group of people.
I'm
Okay.
trying to get big.
They're trying to get there.
So what's the difference between a Spotify ego and a SoundCloud ego?
SoundCloud ego is like people that basically non-conformists, I would say.
Spotify, you said?
Yeah, people that do not obey the rules of society sometimes and don't want to be a part of the mainstream. So they listen to like very low quality, like production, very low SoundCloud, yeah.
Okay.
It's just-
I was like,
SoundCloud's low
interesting.
quality. It's just like, all right, I listen to this and you don't listen to this.
Okay.
And then Spotify people are like, this is my playlist. Everyone, look at my playlist. It is better than your playlist, kind of a thing.
Okay. Do you guys agree with that or do you disagree? Do you have more to add about the Spotify egos?
I guess it's also just easy to like share playlists in that nature.
Okay.
Like, it's easy to like make playlists together, especially having the feature of adding people to create the playlist together. Because that was like the alternative that me and my friends do. We all made a collaborative playlist so we can just have that.
Okay.
Yeah, like you can't do that on Apple Music. Like,
So it sounds like Spotify tends to be a little bit more like social. It has some more
Yes,
social
I
features.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to me that people like post their wrapped
The Spotify rap.
music
Spotify
on
Wrapped.
like every social media. Like I see it like so many of them.
So
I'm
you-
just like, why do you care so much? For other people to know what you're listening
They
to.
do.
Like,
Apple Music.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if
was
it's
gonna
for
say,
like
Apple just came out with like
inspiration.
theirs.
they
Yeah,
did,
they
but
did.
it's not as good. It's just like
I know.
Spotify
I mean,
is
I
so.
enjoyed watching
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
It was like,
I was
Do you
like, oh,
guys
this is
like
cute.
seeing what music people listen to or do you guys not care?
I mean, I guess it kind of determines their personality.
Yeah. In a way, I'm like, okay,
All right, so you're
I
one of those guys.
understand you now.
I feel like
a
that
little
makes
more.
sense.
I like
But
it.
like at the same time, I'm like, cool. Like I don't
It's like
really care that your top person is Morgan Wallen.
Facts.
Like, I don't know.
It just depends. If it's like a person that I guess, acquaintance-wise, I don't really know much about, it's sort of interesting to see where the music takes
Yeah.
wise. Just having maybe like a conversation starter. Or there is like maybe a classmate of mine that I didn't really talk to, but we had like the same sort of like Spotify rap. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like we have like the same taste. And then I'd be like, oh, have you listened to this song by this person before?
So you kind of like sort of made a friend because of Spotify Wrapped, a little bit. It kind of opens that door, it sounds like, for like icebreakers and that kind of thing. Okay. So when it comes to certain streaming services, I think Amber, you brought up how you don't really care about Wrapped.
Yeah, I mean, like, I obviously don't use Spotify like that.
Yeah.
I have one, so maybe I just don't know, like, I'm not involved, so it's not that cool to me. I mean,
Okay,
like,
so
I
you-
can see
okay.
the inspiration around it, like why people post it, I guess, at the same time, I'm just like, yeah.
You don't really get the hype of,
Yeah, I
the
just don't get
Wrapped.
why literally every single person does it on the planet, like,
Okay.
when it happens, like, when it comes out or whatever.
okay, do you guys that do have Spotify, I think it's just the two of you, do you guys look forward to your Wrapped at the end of the year? Is that one of the features you guys really like?
I like my rap.
I liked it.
Just don't be one of those
I
guys.
don't I don't post it, and I don't really look
Yeah.
at other people's,
I
but
think it's a cool concept for yourself.
actually I like they'll have the playlist, like the year in recap, where it's sort of like in order of like what you listen to the most. Because sometimes you'll listen to a song in like a ton in like January, March, like this time of year, but then come December you're like, oh yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah.
I really
Okay.
like that.
Or like, yeah, you go on Snap and next thing you know, you see all your friends, just like you look at what they listen to, it's just like, you're definitely the kind of guy to listen to that kind of music.
Okay, so you get kind of like a little judgy when those Wrapped
Like,
come out.
like for example, if you're like a blue collar, like, country kind of guy, then you're gonna see like Morgan Wallen, yeah, like Willie Nelson, Luke Bryan, all those people on there. Like, if you go on another, like if you see people who have like Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, like those are people that tend to have very flashy clothing and tend to rage, like have a lot of energy.
Okay, so with the Spotify Wrapped features, there's sounds like certain features we sound pretty strongly about. Is features one of the things that attracts you guys to a streaming service? It sounds like Wrapped might be something that you don't care about, so it's not gonna bring you to Spotify. Do you guys think features play a role in streaming services in picking them?
For me, it does. I mean, because I went Spotify, then to Apple Music, then back to Spotify.
Okay, and why did you do that?
I went from Spotify to Apple Music because my parents decided to start paying for Apple Music.
Okay.
So I went where the money was.
Okay.
And then I went back to Spotify because I just like the features of Spotify better. The collaborative playlists. Like, the Spotify is just much better for discovering new music, in my opinion. The playlists, the group sessions, all that.
Okay, so you like the Spotify features a lot more than Apple, and that's why you switched. And you also mentioned that your parents paid for it, for Apple. Do your parents still pay for your streaming service?
Gotta think. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
I
so,
was on with my friends at one point, but now.
okay, so you were with your friends on a streaming service? Explain a little bit on that.
Well, in high school, we were all on Spotify because we did a family plan as a group of friends.
Oh, okay,
all my friends lived at my house,
okay,
according to Spotify.
okay, that's really interesting. So when,
Damn, I have a question now. Would you just hunt down people whenever, like, would you ever hunt down your friends whenever they didn't pay? Like the rents due, bro, like,
No.
you gotta send this shit in, or,
There's always the one friend of the friend group who everyone has like $200 in Venmo pending from them, but they'll eventually pay up.
they don't pay up, just give them a nice little, just all that.
Well, the beauty of it was I was like admin, so if they didn't pay, I could literally like turn off their account.
Oh.
Like, not kick them off, but I'd still have them on the plan, but just like turn off their music. Or I could mess with them and just like turn off explicit music only. And then they'd be very confused.
okay, so, when you made that kind of like friend family plan for Spotify, did everyone before that previously have Apple Music and want to switch to streaming? Or if it was in high school, is that kind of, I feel like that's around the time streaming services became a little bit more popular
I
for,
think it was like middle school for
okay,
all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just like, that was sort of when I just sort of got into music. I don't think I really had anything before that,
okay,
aside from iTunes, I guess.
Well, I think one of the first, like, of those streaming services, I don't think anyone remembers this, but it was like, it was Beats Music, if anyone remembers that.
okay.
Like, it was like one of the first of its kind.
I don't remember that.
Honestly, I think I had Pandora Radio for a good.
Yes. Did anyone else have Pandora?
No, I didn't like Pandora.
Okay.
I think I like used my parents' account or something for a little.
Okay, so, back to you. You said that you did have Apple Music, you switched to Spotify, like, for the second time. Started with Spotify, went to Apple. So what was that initial switch to Apple? Did you say that was a payment thing?
That was because my parents had a Apple Music plan, family plan, so then it was free for me.
Okay,
So-
so you did it because it was a lot less money and that's why you originally switched. Was
Yeah.
that the only reason you switched?
That was the entire reason.
Okay, how about you guys? For streaming services, how many of you guys actually pay for your streaming service? Or is it on a family plan?
Family
Mine's a
plan.
family
I
plan.
pay for mine.
Okay, so your Spotify, your Apple, and you both individually pay for yours. Okay, so is there something for you to, in order to switch to the other one, do you think it would be a payment thing? So if Apple Music was $5 more expensive than Spotify, do you think you would make that switch? Or do you think there is a price point that would make you switch?
I mean, they have a student discount, which is nice, Apple Music. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do, if it was like a lot more expensive than Spotify, I guess I'd probably switch. It'd just be a pain.
Okay.
Playlist.
And how about you? Do you think if there was a huge price difference, you would switch?
I would maybe. I mean, I played around with Apple Music a little bit, but I mean, I feel like Spotify also has a student discount,
Yes, it does.
and I guess like having like the food streaming with it,
That bundle.
like that bundle's really cool and really neat. But I guess after I've become like no longer a student, or if I am truly convinced that Apple Music is better, maybe, but I don't really see myself switching.
Okay, you don't see yourself switching pretty much ever. You're content with Spotify. For our family plan people, do you guys think if you get off the family plan, do you guys think you would stay with your current ones, or do you think you would switch to something else?
I think I'll just go to YouTube and SoundCloud.
Okay, so you wouldn't even go to Spotify, you would just go straight to something else. Is there a
Yeah.
reason for that? Why do you say that?
I mean, I'm provided with a nice streaming service as it is, and I'm pretty sure with the direction of music that I usually listen to, a lot of it can be found on SoundCloud.
Okay,
I
about
would
you?
stick with Apple Music.
you would stick?
Yeah, just cause like I'm always gonna have an iPhone. It pretty much comes with the phone. Like
Yeah.
Spotify, I think the biggest difference is like Spotify is like an app.
Mhm.
So there's like chances of it crashing or just going away. Like
Okay, where
like,
Apple, you
Apple
think is
Music
more?
is just more, it's just pretty much built into the phone.
Okay,
and, like,
so do you think it's like more trustworthy?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. So if you you have Apple Music, if all of your friends, do a lot of your friends have Spotify? Or is it split?
It's pretty split.
Okay, so if this is a universal question, if all of your friends had one exact streaming service and you had the other, do you think you would wanna switch at all?
I would want to switch, but probably wouldn't. Like that kind of happens. Like a lot of my friends have Spotify,
Okay,
and so like one time they were like trying to make a playlist, and so only people with Spotify could add to the
Mhm.
playlist. So I just used someone else's phone to add my own music. But
okay, and did you feel weird about that? How did
no,
being left out?
because I was still in it. I just took someone's phone.
Okay, so you didn't feel any difference really being left out?
No.
Has anyone else had similar experiences, whether they were the ones left out or they were the ones who had a friend who was left out?
No, I don't really me and my friends don't really like share music like that. I don't know, like we'll send
Okay.
songs to each other over text, like.
But it's not like you're sharing that much, it sounds like.
Yeah, like we don't share a playlist
Okay.
where we add songs to it or anything, like we just kinda have like our own music, so it's never really been like a problem.
Okay, would you guys agree with that? How much do you guys share versus how much do you just use on your own for your own benefit? What do you think do you think there's a percentage difference there? Do you think it's like 80% for yourself, 20% sharing? Or do you think it's more or less?
It's that 80% is usually by myself
Okay,
and 20% is with other people.
okay. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, one of the final questions, okay, if you guys all had one, what do you guys think would be the price difference in order to switch to the other one?
Like, what do you mean by that?
If you have, so you have Apple
What-
Music,
What is Spotify's like price?
so right now, Apple Music, I believe, is $1 more
Okay.
in average. There's family plans and there's bundles, but just based on average, it's typically, yeah, Spotify is at, I think, around $10 and Apple is around $11, so it's about $1 difference.
Okay.
If Apple went up to $5 more, do you guys think Apple people would switch, or do you think you would stay?
I think
I'd probably say,
$10?
Probably stay.
$10 more?
I'd start considering switching,
Okay,
but
It's a
I
tough
don't
one.
know,
15?
I'm just so used to it.
You're just so
by
used
now.
to it, you
I've
might,
literally grown up
even
with
though
it,
it,
basically, so.
even though it doesn't have as many features as Spotify, you would just stick with it.
Like,
I
I'm-
mean,
yeah.
I think they have very similar features. I don't think Apple Music's really missing out on that much compared to Spotify. I meant to say this earlier, like Spotify is kind of confusing for me to figure
Okay.
out more than Apple Music is. Like I get
Okay.
really lost in Spotify, but yeah, I don't know. And also like you have to pay for Spotify if you wanna choose a song. Like you can have it for free, but like you can't pick whatever song you want. You just, it's kinda random. I don't know.
Okay, do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree that do you think Apple Music and Spotify are pretty comparable, or do you guys think there's noticeable differences?
I think there's some differences. I mean, I haven't really ventured a lot in like, I guess, I don't know, the updates nowadays about Apple
Mhm.
Music. I can't really have a fair judgment on comparison. But one thing that I do keep in mind, especially like a lot of people have like Apple products.
Yeah.
Apple computers, and so you have like the music already in it. But when it comes to like Spotify, like you download it, but if you don't have an Apple computer, you can still download Spotify and play it on the player, either like online or you can like download it to a computer. So if you have Apple Music, you have to rely maybe on like your phone or something. So
Gotcha.
you can't really do that on your computer.
Okay,
So those,
Spotify's a little bit more adaptable.
yeah, it can
Okay.
be more universal, not just for Apple, but, I guess, I don't know like the fair judgment comparing the features. I would kind of agree, I say, based on my previous experience with Apple, that Spotify is a tad bit more confusing, but
Okay.
I guess once you like see and get used to the features, it just becomes second nature.
Alright. Any final thoughts you guys wanna add?
I
You
was
guys-
gonna say too, like, Apple Music did, like, I don't know if Spotify came before Apple Music did in a way, but like, Apple Music definitely took ideas off of Spotify
Yeah,
to enhance
so
them.
you think
so-
Spotify is kind of the leader right
so,
now?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
I think in like the social aspect, cause that's just obviously become so big now, like just people getting inspiration off other people, like Apple Music will probably keep continuing to like get ideas from Spotify, cause they're more like targeted towards like the social side.
Okay.
And maybe younger generations too.
Okay.
So.
Libby, you said you don't have either.
I don't.
So if you had to choose, which one do you think you would pick?
I don't know. I don't know if like I feel I'd be loyal to either one.
If you had to.
Well, with like, okay, if I absolutely had to.
Absolutely have to. You can't leave the room without signing up for one. Which one would it be?
Maybe it would be Spotify. I
Okay.
guess because of the convenience aspect of sharing playlists.
Okay.
Although, like, I don't like. Like, I don't share music with my friends, and they don't really share with me.
Okay.
And so it's like, I kind of find music on my own. I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably maybe Spotify, but
Maybe Spotify, but yeah. You know what? Yes, Spotify.
Spotify?
Period at the end of the sentence.
Spotify
Spotify.
for the convenience of sharing. That's why you're doing it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I would like to thank all of you for joining. I feel like this is